Hey guys, well I am headed to Target. I needed to run a couple of quick errands today, and this was probably my only chance to talk to you. I feel bad that, it's been in the car again like last time. I totally have meant to sit down and do a video. Matter of fact, I think I told some of you that last Friday, so almost a week ago, when I'm filming this anyway, I was going to sit down and film my update for the wheat-free, because I talked about it in my last video, and a lot of you seem interested, and I know some of you said you were going to read the book that I'd mentioned. It just did not happen. Plain and simple, had a pretty, off week, and just could not get to it. And I don't know, for those of you that are subscribed to my other channel as well, you've probably noticed, or maybe not. That's the thing I think sometimes with YouTube. I haven't put up a video on that channel in probably 2 weeks now. Kind of leads into a whole lot of other things, but I am going to do the update today. This will be then kind of like the 2-week update for the wheat-free, and that probably gives you a little bit better picture, I think. So I'm almost kind of glad I waited, and to be honest, like, I kept waiting thinking I don't want to forget to say anything, which I still may. But sometimes, like, when I'm going to actually just sit down and do an actual video, it's almost like I'll forget what I'm going to say anyway unless I write some notes, and then I feel like it's too, like, scripted, almost. Sometimes I feel like I can get better information out when I'm just talking kind of more casual like this, if that makes sense. So I haven't put up any videos recently for a few reasons, but I'm kind of just feeling off about YouTube lately, and I don't know if that's kind of both channels, primarily my beauty channel and, like, the beauty community. There's just several things lately that has just kind of turned me off, I guess, is a nice way to put it. I don't know. And then, there's plenty of videos that I could make. I had, a big list going. And I wouldn't say it's one thing in particular or one thing that just happened like one day, but it's things that have been happening or things that I see. And I don't know. Kind of like I said, it just turns me off. Some of it feels really fake to me. I'm really big on that. I don't like people being fake. I don't want to really get into that and make this, like, too negative, because that's just not me, and that's kind of why I've not made a video either, because I'm not one to just turn the camera on and start complaining, and being negative. Like, nobody wants to hear that. Well, maybe some people do, but that's not who I am. And I know sometimes, from time to time, I may need to just vent a little, because that's me. I hold things in, and if I just vent and get it out, then I feel better. So that's kind of what this is a little bit. But anyway, just wanted to say, if you've noticed I haven't put up any videos, that's just kind of why. Kind of just turned off at the moment, for some things going on that I noticed. So anyway, I do want to update on the 2 weeks being wheat-free. And I kind of am starting to laugh at myself saying that, because it was almost exactly 2 weeks, and then I decided to do a little experiment and have some wheat. And I had kind of read that in the past. A good way to see if you're, like, gluten intolerant is to go off of it for a couple weeks and then, like, eat a piece of bread. And see what happens. So I can safely say I think I'm probably not gluten intolerant, as long as I'm not overdoing it, I guess you should say, if that makes sense. So I was really good. I mean, like, I scoured labels, because once you read that book, it really opens your eyes to all the little things that wheat and gluten are in. I mean, it's crazy. Like, some obvious ones are, like, beer and alcohol, like vodka. People don't even think that, but hello, that's what they're made out of. Sometimes you can find a vodka not made with wheat, but, in sauces and things you just seriously have to sit there and think, oh, I can't have that, So that was a little crazy and a little harder than I expected. I think my last video, I was, 4 to 5 days in, maybe 6, so I'd kind of done about a week. Everything was going fine. I think a day or two after that, possibly. If you follow me on Twitter, like, PMS time was bad. Sometimes that bothers me and sometimes not. Sometimes around that time of the month, you can just really crave like brownies or sweet stuff or whatever. That's kind of normal for a lot of people. So around that time, all of a sudden, it was one of those that hit me. Sometimes it doesn't all, oh my God, I wanted carbs, I wanted a donut, I wanted something so bad, it was driving me crazy. Thankfully, that was over with within like a day, and I didn't give in. I was really good. And throughout the whole process, this 2 weeks, it has been easier than I thought. I have more willpower than I thought, to be honest, because, carbs, and wheat are just such a part of my diet I don't think about, and not that I overeat them. And like I said in the last video, I try to be smart about the carbs I eat. But I do eat a lot of them. So I think for me, as far as, that initial 3 pounds, it was probably just not eating that many carbs, because I have not lost any more weight at all. And I said before, I didn't do it to try it be like a weight loss thing. I wanted to see if it made me feel better, any digestive things I was having, like anything. I just wanted to see if that could be some of my problem. It did make me feel a little better. I was definitely less bloated. So that was good. But I would probably only be bloated normally if I would maybe eat carbs late or eat them more in a day than I should. So, that's kind of hard to say. It was probably, like I said, because I was eating less of them in general. I'm not going to lie. I am a little disappointed that there wasn't a little more obvious results from it. But that just goes to show that's obviously really not my issue. But what I did learn from that book, and what I think is great about it, and those of you that have read it, because some of you I know said you were going to, let me know what you think. It just enlightens you to a lot of things that you would seriously not even think about. Like, for instance, the big thing on there, even on the back of the book, it said, a slice of wheat bread has the same glycemic index as sugar, like table sugar, like a spoonful of sugar. I mean, to me, is that not insane? That blows my mind. That is the one thing that has stuck with me throughout the 2 weeks, is thinking, and we always know carbs are higher, a lot of carbs, not all carbs, but a lot of carbs and starches are higher on the glycemic index than others. I mean, I think that's kind of basic nutrition that most of us know. But it just really opened my eyes to thinking, well, I wouldn't eat 2 tablespoons full of sugar, so, but that's what I'm getting if I eat a sandwich with whole wheat bread. I don't know. It's just those kind of things that made me think I definitely need to lower my carb intake and be selective in the carbs then that I do eat. So, and to touch on something a lot of you said too, if you have skin issues and such, it did touch on that in the book. And I've always heard this because, trying to think, does this have anything to do with my allergies, about wheat and dairy being big triggers for people. So those of you with skin issues, it very well could have something to do with it. So it wouldn't hurt for you to test out, to see if wheat or dairy has to do with your skin issues, just to see if maybe it helps. I definitely think it does not hurt to give it up for a couple weeks and see how your body reacts. And then, like I said, eat a piece of bread or slowly maybe incorporate a few things. I was really scared, honestly, the first time I had wheat again, because I'm like, oh my God, what's it going to do to me? So it was just 2 nights ago, actually. We bought some shrimp again at the store, and the last time we had it, we just had it with salad. The time before that, I think, is when I showed it with the tacos. We'd bought all those, artisan corn and wheat blend tortillas before I decided to do this, which were so good. So anyway, we're like, okay, let's just go for it. Let's make the tacos, shrimp tacos tonight. So I had one. Actually, I had about 1.5 because they were so filling. It was like the first one you scarf down because it's so good. And then you're like halfway through the second, like, I do not need this. I felt okay. I did feel a little bloated initially, but I think that was just probably because I ate too much and maybe ate too fast. Because the next morning I felt fine. It was not bloated. Didn't feel sick, never had any like stomach issues. So of course we ended up having like the cheesy brown rice with like salsa or tomatoes with it, which we often have a lot. So we had some of that left over. And I know from, you know, a few months back when we did that, I had some of those tortillas left over, and I would just take some of the brown rice and put in one tortilla, add some lettuce, and that's all I had, you know, for lunch. So I thought, let me try it again. I'm being brave, having it 2 days in a row, but this was yesterday. But it's so filling, you know, because those tortillas have fiber in it, you know, the brown rice is filling. Like, it's just, to me, a really satisfying, filling lunch, and something I don't need a lot of to feel full. So I thought, let me go ahead and try that. Sure enough, you know, I was fine. I felt full. It was good. Nothing happened to my stomach. So I had it 2 days in a row, and I'm feeling okay. So that makes me believe, you know, that I really am not probably intolerant. I just need to watch what I eat, you know. So because I had that yesterday, I didn't have anything else carb heavy, you know, the rest of the day. You know, I'm just trying to balance it a little bit more. I still haven't actually had bread. That was something throughout this 2 weeks. I did go through a little bit of withdrawal, I would say like 3 days in. I don't know if I mentioned that in the last video. But then it went away. But then I started kind of yo-yoing. Like, I would have days, like that day, the last day I made the video, for instance, I had breakfast. I wasn't hungry again until I came back home. That was at 2 o'clock. And then I just had like a little snack. I didn't even make like a full lunch. Which I know in that book it had mentioned, you know, that you'll find your blood sugar evens out more and you won't have those up and down spikes of feeling hungry like every 2 hours. Because I'm not quite sure I'm on board with needing to eat every 2 hours. To me, I follow what my body says. Some days I may just be hungrier than others. Some days I can go longer. I don't eat just to be eating because it's 2 hours or you need to keep your metabolism going and all that stuff. I'm not quite sure how I think about that. And to be honest, like the more you research things, it's very controversial. Some people agree with that, some don't. I say listen to your own body. So anyway, that was really good. But then I started noticing I would have days where I was hungry all the time. Like just a few days ago, I went through like 2 days in a row where every 2 hours I was starving. And I'm thinking, well, maybe I've just revved up my metabolism. You know, you hear that all the time. And I wasn't eating a ton, but just enough to feel full. And it wouldn't take long to feel full and satisfied. Not bloated, but just full. But I hate that yo-yo. I feel like of every couple hours I'm hungry. I don't personally like that at all. I would rather just eat something normal. And then if I need a snack, fine. If not, fine. I don't want to like look at the clock and going, God, why am I hungry again? Oh, look, every 2 hours. So that kind of bugged me, you know, that 2 day span, because I'm one of those people, even if I'm eating really healthy and like that, I'm not eating carbs, I will gain weight. I mean, if I eat every couple hours, it doesn't matter what I'm eating, I will gain weight. Sure enough, I put on, I don't know, like 1.5 pounds or from that initial 3 pounds I lost. Well, this morning I weighed myself and I was back down to the initial 3 pounds. So in 2 weeks time, I initially lost 3 pounds in like 4 or 5 days, gained like 1.5 pounds back, and then went back down again. So in 2 weeks, I've only lost 3 pounds and went up slightly and back down. That's it. So you guys let me know if you read the book or if you know, have went wheat-free since, you know, I made that list video, and how it's going for you, what your experience was. I'm just being honest with mine. Like I said, it's a little disappointing I mean, not that I want to be like gluten intolerant, I don't, but you know, you kind of want something to say, oh, this might be what's causing this, you know. So but like I said, it really enlightened me to see how I need to make some changes in my diet, and I think it's going to be easy to stick with those changes. Sure, I'm going to have time to time, I'm going to have wheat, you know. Something I really miss was just something as simple as a sandwich. Sometimes that's all I want for lunch, you know, some lettuce, some tomatoes, some turkey. I just want a sandwich, you know. And for me, not eating a lot of dairy, especially eggs and like, you know, where you get a lot of protein, yogurt, eggs, it was hard for me to come up with things to eat. So that was a little bit difficult. Okay, I feel like I'm rambling now and I can't quite get my thoughts together, but I just wanted to touch base. I feel so bad that, you know, it's been longer than I wanted it to, but let me know in the comments, like I said, your thoughts. If you read the book, if you didn't read the book, if you decided to give it a try, and definitely if I forgot anything. Like some of you had asked me some things in the last video. If I forgot to touch on that, I will try to put some annotations or some more info in the info box below. But thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye.